This day started out quite uneventfully. I worked, I read, I had a fantastically delicious burrito from Chipotle, Exo picked me up, and we were on our way. As we were driving through this part of Houston in which I have never been, belting Disney songs, I was reminded of all that Nerdfightaria has done for me. And not just for me, but for nerds all over the world. Yes, this is a bit hokey, but please bear with me. Never in a million years would I have pictured myself in this position. I mean, I was always really into Harry Potter, but I was never really into books as a whole, until I saw a video by a certain boy who was so cool-like. He was covering Hank's now famous Accio Deathly Hallows. And when I say famous, I mean well-known. And as a massive Potter fan, I had to see this video that warranted covering. Needless to say, I wasn't really into it. I mean, go back and watch Brotherhood 2.0. Hank is the kind of nerdy that I wouldn't, in my nerdiest moments, be able to compete with. But then I watched John's videos, and I don't want to put too much score into this, but they kind of blew my mind. Yes, he put peanut butter on his face, waxed his chin, and ate fat sandwiches, but he also taught me to imagine people complexly, and that there are no them but only facets of us, and that people do not do things because they're horrible and stupid, but because they have their own motives and ambitions that should be given merit. So I read his books, followed him on Twitter, left Nerdfighter notes, all the while I'm building a relationship with this author. The sort of relationship that wouldn't have been possible even 10 years ago. I mean, I don't know if you guys think about how well we know John, but we know him pretty well. I'm not delusional enough to think that we know everything about him, but we know him far better than I'll ever know Joe Rowling. We know him in such a way that makes me wonder how people that aren't subscribed and don't follow him receive his books. Through the power of the internet, I got to know John Green before I read his books, and that makes them more enjoyable to me. Through the power of the internet, we have gotten to know him, and through that knowledge, we have been able to build a better relationship. The sort of relationship that makes kids line up and wait over an hour in 90% humidity. The sort of relationship that makes them spend Friday nights in the somewhat smelly school auditorium.
It smells like high school in here.
Instead of at a party, or more likely, on Tumblr. The sort of relationship that makes kids care about reading in the way that I wished I cared about reading when I was a kid. The sort of relationship that makes a 31-year-old man speaking through the medium of an Argyle sock with paper glasses and guitar affixed to it not seem strange. But then John started reading from The Fault in Our Stars, and I was amazed by the silence in the room. I mean, this is a room mostly full of teenagers, and having recently been a teenager, I know that there are a few things that can make a group of them stop talking.
A shelf at my eye level reached all the way around the room, and it was stuffed solid with basketball memorabilia.
Hank sang songs, John told us that we have the choice in what we think about, we got Hank rolled, the brothers answered questions that led to John getting shocked. Hank sang more songs, they walked 500 miles while I wondered where Sue from catering was, and then we burst into a rather rousing rendition of Don't Stop Believing. And if my journey with this community has taught me anything, it is to never stop believing. John, Hank, Nerdfighters, I'll see you at VidCon.